Hey y'all, so I'm back with another cooking video. Today we have some beef and broccoli. It tastes really authentic. If you want to know how I made this, go ahead and keep on watching. Alright, so first you're going to need this beef and broccoli seasoning mix. This is the only one I use. You can find this at Walmart. You also have garlic powder, some onion powder, some black pepper, some oregano, definitely need soy sauce, and some rice is optional. Also some broccoli florets and some butter. Let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all, so first thing you want to do, now y'all don't have to do this. Ever since I cooked that rice like this, I don't want to cook my rice any other way. So I added some butter to my pan, and I'm gonna go ahead and saute my rice in there before adding the water. I'm using 1.5 cups of rice because that's all I had left. So I'm gonna dump that in there, and then afterwards, after I saute it a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and add my water. So just saute it around the pan a little bit. Again, you don't have to do this. I pre-washed my rice, and I usually didn't do this until I made that one pan chicken and rice, but actually this makes the rice more fluffier to me. Okay, so I added 3 cups of water, and y'all can see I spilled it all over the stove. You don't want to do that, but anyhow. So you want to add your water and get that rice mixed up in there. And then once it starts to boil, you want to turn it down to medium heat and go ahead and cover it with the top, just like I'm doing right here. Okay, now in the meantime, you want to go ahead and get your sauce ready, that beef and broccoli packet. So on the back it has directions and it tells you how much water to put. So it says 3/4 cups of water. I'm doing 2 of these, so I did 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to add 2 packets of this mix into that water. Okay, and I'm gonna add the soy sauce in a minute. Y'all see, the soy sauce is what's gonna give it the flavor. Now, to be honest, I usually like to get my soy sauce from Kroger or Fry's, but I was going to Walmart because I like their beef and broccoli sauce, and so I just grabbed the soy sauce from there too. But to be honest, I like Fry's soy sauce better, but this one did just fine. All right, so go ahead and mix that up in that water, and then you want to go ahead and get ready to add your soy sauce. Alright, so the recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of soy sauce per packet. And since I'm using 2 packets and double the water, I'm going to do 4 tablespoons of soy sauce. So you got 2, you got 3, and then you got 4, okay? And just mix it up in there. Y'all, I am just so tired. It was nothing but the grace of God that helped me cook this dinner, because for the past month and a half, I have been going to bed between 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and I am just exhausted. So it was the strength of the Lord that got me through this dinner, because it took a while to cook it, but nevertheless, it was good. All right, so go ahead and set your mix to the side, and let's go ahead and start with our meat. Now, this is beef. It's beef strips. I bought it like this. It was frozen, and so I had to thaw it out in some water, which is why it's so white. So anyhow, you want to get all that excess fat off. You do not need that when you're cooking this. Now, if you're just cooking steak, just to eat it as steak, then you go ahead and leave some of that on. But for the purpose of beef and broccoli, you want to cut all that off. And you also want to get that membrane off too. They actually have a membrane remover tool, but I didn't have that, so I just used a knife. And y'all, make sure y'all have a good knife, because the knives we have, they just suck. I need to get me a whole new knife set. So yeah, remove all that excess fat in the membrane, because if you don't, 1, you'll have a greasy mess from the fat, and 2, the membrane will make your meat tough, and you want your meat to be extremely soft. So yeah, we don't need all that excess. So go ahead and cut that off and get your meat nice and clean portions, okay? Now, the next thing is you want to tenderize your meat. This is very important. I'm using the bigger side of the mallet because it's quicker. And y'all, some people use meat tenderizer. I don't think I've ever used meat tenderizer. I prefer the old school method of using the mallet. So some people, they put saran wrap over their meat while they're beating it. I don't like doing that because I feel like little pieces of plastic will get stuck in the meat. So I just do it, without no plastic on the meat. But to each his own, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and do each piece of meat. I had 4 strips of this steak, and so I cleaned each strip with the excess fat and the other stuff I took off of it, and then I just pounded it with the meat mallet, and then after that I'm going to cut it in little small cubes, and y'all see that in a minute. All right, so here's my meat all cut up. Now, on the back of that package, the beef and broccoli mix package, it says to use oil, but I like to use butter, and I'll tell y'all why in a minute. So y'all, here's my rice. When you see those little holes in it, that means the water has evaporated and it is ready. And y'all, it is perfect. It's so fluffy. Like, look at that. Perfection, okay? I don't think I'm gonna cook my rice ever in a regular pot again. For now on, it's gonna be pan rice. All right, so yeah. Anyhow, I'm gonna cover that back up, and we're gonna go ahead and cook our meat in the butter. Now, the reason why you want to put your meat in butter versus oil is because even though I beat the meat with the meat mallet, the butter adds extra tenderness to your meat. So you want to go ahead and use butter. You can use oil if you want to, but I prefer butter. Yeah, I'm tired. I prefer butter because it helps tenderize the meat even more so. So I'm going ahead and adding those seasons in that I showed y'all earlier. The oregano, the onion powder, garlic powder, black pepper, and also a little salt. Now, you don't want to add a bunch of salt to your meat, only because y'all know soy sauce is already salty. So you don't want to over salt your meat, but you do want to add some salt to your meat. So I am going to do that. And go ahead and keep watching for the rest of the process. All right, so your meat should look something like this. I cooked it a little longer after this, and once it was to my liking, I went ahead and added the broccoli. Now, y'all could use fresh broccoli and just steam it before you start cooking. That way it'll be fresh. But with this bag broccoli, it's easy. You throw it in the microwave and it's done. Now, with this brand of broccoli, they always cut it in big chunks, so I had to go in there with my fork and make the pieces smaller because they were just way too big. And I was going to use 2 bags of broccoli, but when I cut up the broccoli with the fork, when I broke it up with the fork, it was just perfect for this amount of meat. So yeah. Okay, so here's the mix. It's separated while it was sitting, so you just go ahead and stir that and mix it back up together, and you pour it in just like I'm doing here. Now, I did not use all of that because I usually only use 1 packet when I'm doing the beef and broccoli, but because I had more meat than usual, I went ahead and used 2 packs, and I probably should use a little less water, but anyhow, it was still good. So it should look like that, and you want to let it thicken up. It's going to thicken. It's not going to stay that watery. So you want to let it simmer on the stove until the sauce thickens up. And as y'all can see right here, it has thickened up quite nicely, and y'all, it is so good. Like, it's just good. The thing is, try to get the same brand. I don't know about other brands of beef and broccoli sauce, but this one tastes so authentic. It tastes like 100% Asian beef and broccoli. Like, it is so good. And here is the picture of how it should look. Nice and thick, y'all. All right, y'all, so I'm going ahead and wrap this up. Hope y'all enjoyed this cooking video. Let me know if y'all going to try this. Let me know if y'all have tried this, and I will talk to y'all later. Take care. Have a good night. Bye.